Every once in a while, you see a saber and you think, my precious, I want it. And then you throw money at someone and you go, you must send me the precious because I want it. And then you have it and you hold it and you swing it around and you turn it on and it's and it makes all kinds of crazy noises like an urukai. And well, yeah, you start rewriting your will and you're like, when I die, make sure I'm buried with the precious. If I'm not buried with the precious, it's the precious. All right, settle down. Anyway, so this wow, this is a Saberforge Mark One, and heavily weathered, as you can see. It's a Bane, and near as I can tell, there's a Sith character from probably some of the novels or whatever named Bane. I don't know anything about him, and they never really actually pictured the saber. Obviously, it's a book, not a comic book, so I imagine it's one of the novels. I don't know. I'm sure someone out there can elaborate this for me. I should probably go to Wikipedia and look it up, but I have not yet. And It's a curved hilt saber, obviously. And the gist of this saber is that complete with the particular LED set that's on it, um, and the fact that I think it's loaded with fonts by Shamim. I'm not too sure. I know from the description that the main font is an alien theme font, and I'm pretty sure that the fellow who's really nice, by the way, he and I were kind of interacting last night. Really cool dude. Um, I think that the font was Shamim font, so that's even better because he's a legend who has left us. Left the saber community. Probably wanted to do new things, and so because of the theme being that it has an alien theme font, I named this the Ripley's Bane. And if you don't know who Ellen Ripley is, then get out of here right now. All right, we're back here. Uh, yeah, and so anyway, the short of it is this saber has a soundboard installed in it that I've not experienced before. I don't know if if it's an older Saberforge soundboard or if it's a soundboard that was installed. But basically, as far as the features go, and if you've been watching my videos, you've seen um, that I put a couple of videos uh, just displaying the sound fonts, the second and the third sound font. On this video, I'm just going to give you the first sound font, which is the alien sound font. And the reason for that is this uses a um, emotion activation. There's a sensor in this section of the the pommel, the hilt near the pommel, and it involves kind of like you have to kind of hold the saber and twitch it in order to change the fonts, and it's really difficult to do. I'm not very good at it. I actually, in order to be able to do it, I have to remove the blade, which involves basically losing. I think it's this blade retention screw, or maybe the one on the other side. One is kind of a static screw. The other one's the actual blade retention screw, and I have to remove the blade in order to be able to do this twitch process. Because what it involves doing is you have to actually hold the saber kind of like this and twitch it like that. And I can't do it with the blade in there. And it does take several attempts to do it. And it just would have been too time consuming and cumbersome to even attempt in a video. So I'm not even going to try. So that's one of the interesting features of this saber. So it does have 3 sound fonts, and each one of them is glorious. Personally, I agree with the seller. The second one's my favorite, but the alien sound font, which you will hear, is also phenomenal as well. Other features: it has blaster block, sound effect. It actually has a flash on clash, which works. Well, actually, it has flash on clash. Okay, it has lockup, but the lockup kind of works in the same fashion that the lockup on my Electrum Sabercrafts, my Aurora has. When you have it set to auto lockup, you actually make contact with something, but what you do is you actually make contact with something. It's a timing thing, and when it does the clash, you hold the trigger, you hold the switch, which is a illuminated switch. There's the kill key, and it'll initiate the lockup sound, which is really kind of interesting. I like that. So it also has a stab effect, and obviously swing, and power on, power off. So it's kind of a mixed bag, and I really kind of, if this is a soundboard that Saberforge was producing, I'm other than the fact that at least for a curved hilt, it might be easier on kind of a hilt that's not curved with the blade in, but just because of the logistics of trying to, anyway. But I really like the soundboard a lot. The speaker is very loud. The sound fonts are phenomenal. This saber is just glorious. So let me just give you the visuals. And I'm just going to do this once because it's a little bit difficult with the curved hilt. But and obviously this is a Mark 1, so the Mark 2 is considerably different. And I've seen issues with videos where people have complained about the seam because the way that this thing is constructed, it's kind of molded instead of lathed, so it's two halves, and then there's kind of this sheath here, which is held on with these screws and probably a bit of glue. I don't know. So it's kind of hard to sort of show off the saber because of the nature of a curved hilt. But very, very lovely weathering. Definitely, this looks like if H.R. Geiger was going to create a lightsaber, this is what he would have come up with. And I can't imagine having one of these not in the weathered finish, because this weathered finish is probably one of the most gloriously beautiful weathered finishes that I've experienced, at least from Saberforge. I have to think that someone had a hand in sort of gussying up the nature of this weathered finish. One of the features I really like about this is this S curve emitter with this little and again, this is kind of difficult for me. It's got this little bit right here that kind of sticks out, and of course you've got your claw. I'm a little bit worried about the claw. It seems to be a very, very durable design, but if this claw were to snap off or something, that would absolutely break my heart. Yeah, this is not easy to show off. So as I said, you've got your backlit switch, which matches the color of the blade, which you'll see very shortly, which is very, very, very appropriate. It's kind of it's a tricree, and it has, I don't know if it's like green, green, yellow, or yellow, yellow, green. And with each of the fonts, it seems like I haven't actually, because of the nature of the saber and being able to switch, how you switch the fonts. It seems like on the first font, which is the Alien font, the blade is a little bit more of a green and kind of like more of a green-yellow mix, whereas I think the second font, it's straight up yellow with a green clash, and then the third font is more like a straight up green with a yellow clash. It kind of mixes it very interestingly. I'm really, really liking it. I don't have a blade or I don't have an LED setup that's this color, so that makes this very, very... I'm kind of one of these people. I like an RGB saber, but part of me I just absolutely adore a saber that has a single color. I don't know why. It gives it a lot more personality, and I actually prefer fewer options. Anyway, so he sent me a 32-inch blade, which is perfect because anything longer than a 32-inch blade, especially on a curved hilt saber, is a bit too much. Anyway, so yeah, let's turn it off. Well, turn off the lights, turn on the saber, yada, yada, yada. Let's boot this thing up. Now, one of the things that's sort of interesting is if I put the Kilt key back in, say if I switch the fonts up, if I go to the second font, if after about 10 minutes this will go into it'll go into a deep sleep mode, it'll retain the font. But once I put the Kilt key in, it reverts back to font number 1, which is, of course, the alien font. Another thing I want to point out, I think that these were beveled, and I don't know who beveled it, but if this was as sharp as it originally was, as I imagine it probably was when it came out of the factory, this would be a very dangerous saber to wield. So this being beveled off has made it a lot more, less conducive to injuring yourself, because these points, you could stab a person to death. If you took the blade out, you can literally defend yourself. All right, let's do this. You know what I mean? All right, so let's go over here. Let's get some switches. And we'll go ahead and we'll clickety-clack the switches. We'll turn off some lights. So we got to keep one light on so I'm not bumping into things. So, sorry. And not that you haven't seen this routine yet, but here we go. This is the alien font. And I don't know the name of any of the fonts on this saber, nor do I think you can purchase them ever again. Because if they're all Shamim fonts, then that's it. That's all she wrote. It's on this saber. It's on sabers that have it equipped. You're never gonna get access to this again. And I'm never taking this thing apart, so I'm not removing the pommel. I don't know if there's a SD card in here. I'm not sure what the situation, if it's installed just directly to the board. Don't know, don't care. I'm never going to fiddle with it, exception being maybe to get in here to, swap out the 18650 battery, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know the name of the font. I don't know if you can ever get them ever again. So there you go. Here we go. You'll notice when it clashes, you get the alien screech. You get the xenomorph screech. I don't know if you can hear it. And let me see if I can get this lockup to work. This is kind of difficult with one hand. There it is. So you can see, get to the darkest part. Yeah, that's kind of more or less what you get. That sickly yellow green. It's perfect. It's so xenomorph. So I love this speaker. Plenty loud. Sorry. I think this is probably one of the nicest Saberforge sabers I've ever acquired, hands down. Here's the stab. I love any saber that has stab. I don't know why a curved hilt saber is so easy for me to handle. As I've said before, when I first saw Attack of the Clones and Dooku walked out with that crazy curved hilt of his, I was thinking, how the hell does one handle a saber like that? And well, now I know they're addictive. They're infinitely easy to just do all kinds of flourishes and spins, and I can't go too nuts because of my low ceiling, but suffice to say, I love that. Anyway. I'm taking this thing to the grave with me. I love this saber. Yeah, let's go get these lights back on here, man. Scotty, I need more power. There you go, more power. So, yeah. Yeah. All right, what to say? There you go. Green backlit switch. I have no complaints about this saber at all. The only thing I might do is I might get myself kind of a custom kill key for this thing. But this will do in a pinch. Let's get this thing back here. Come on, where are you? There you go. All right, so yeah, why not? Visual tour one more time. Let's do this. So I'll just show you one side and then the other. I like how the shroud has more weathering than the rest of the hilt, because obviously this receives the most contact, and of course I look like showing you that. And there you go, inside there, what you can see. My precious. If you tries to take my precious, you will get the vengeance of the precious. And of course they put in a pommel insert to protect the speaker. Thank you. This does not, I mean, you can sort of see there's like a little bit, you can kind of see that silver in there. That doesn't seem to be standard Saberforge fare. I'm convinced that someone installed a board and customized the speaker on this thing, because this is too good to be. I have a lot. I have veteran and champion. I don't have any hero tier Ultra Sabers, but none of them sound like this. None of them. This is not. I don't think this is. I think this is all custom install. So, yeah, and then of course there's this side. One of the best features of this saber is these little scallop bits for your finger. This is so comfortable. In your finger, you can grip this so easily. So I mean, obviously when you're handling a curved hilt, you can handle it kind of like this, or you can choke up. I was watching the Dooku bits I know yesterday, and he seemed to choke up like right by the emitter, like you would do on a normal straight hilt. But obviously, you can kind of do that, or you can hold it here. And I find that the best way to kind of approach this is to realize that you have multiple angles of attack, and a lot of flexibility for creating strikes and downward strokes, and you can do an upward strike, and it's just there's a lot of flexibility there. Anyway, so I've gushed nearly enough, I think, about my precious. Does everybody like the precious as much as I like the precious? Sorry if that's like super creepy. Anyway, so anyway, so this has well, I'm assuming, I haven't seen it, but I assume this has your standard lithium-ion 18650 battery. It does have in-hilt recharge. The seller sent a charger with me, so I got probably about 400 different chargers. But for all my 18650 in-hilt recharge, I have one charger that it's one of the chargers I got from JQ Sabers. They're all they're all compatible as long as they're 3.7 volt or whatever the system is. Then you don't have to worry about damaging the battery. And yeah, I think that pretty much finishes this off. So eventually, I'm going to do a comparison between this and I'll probably have all my curved hilt sabers in one video, all the ones I currently have. So I have this. I have Ripley's Bane, and then I have a Vanquish that has issues, and then I have Ultra Saber's Mantis, which has issues. But this one's perfect. And this one is very, very near and dear to me. So, yeah, there you go. That's the review for my Saberforge Mark 1 Bane with a mystery soundboard. And hopefully all three of those fonts are Shmeem. I'm claiming they are. If I'm wrong, prove it. Go ahead. I don't mind. And this is Ripley's Bane. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe or comment to me. I don't mind answering comments. I enjoy it. Nay, I expect it. And hope everyone has a wonderful evening. Today's Friday Eve. We're almost at the weekend. And it's a non-holiday weekend. Hurrah. So, my love to you all. And I'll see you soon. Bye.